Fan Power Hour, welcome, yada yada, Jeremy Josh.
Yeah, hello, welcome back. He gave you the whole spiel already.
That was efficient. Speaking of efficient, how's your week?
Pretty good, pretty efficient.
Efficient,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. I efficiently tore part of my ACL in an efficient mosh pit. Not something I feel like you should say after your 39th birthday.
Those are the kind of mosh pits we need, though, efficient ones. Who are you? Who are you seeing?
Emery. Those old dudes can put on a show. It was who was it? Good Terms was the first band.
Okay.
Which they've got that viral song, and I didn't realize that's who was opening until they closed, and I was like, oh, it's those guys.
That's a fun feeling.
Oh, man, it was so good. Good Terms, and then who was the other one? Oh, no. I don't remember the second band. A lot of people knew and sang their songs. I did not know them, but they were really good. And then Emery, and I was kind of I even told my wife on the way to the show, I was like, okay, these guys... The record came out in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some live shows. Like, I'm not expecting the best thing. They're kind of like rough around the edges. No, they put on a freaking incredible show.
And that was at Vogue, right?
Yeah.
So how did it sound there? Because my last few shows, I've come to decide that I don't really like seeing shows at the Vogue.
It's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful. I mean, they have incredible subs.
Yeah.
Like heart-stopping low end. It's just so, I can't believe it's so loud. Like, I am all for like a rock show, and I felt like an old man the whole time. Like, it's too loud.
Did you bring plugs?
No.
That's the problem.
Didn't know I needed to, and like everybody in the pit area, which is funny because we're all like, we're going to a 20-year anniversary show for a record. Like, everybody was looking at pictures of their kids in between the sets, like, and everybody was
checking up on the
babysitters. Too loud, huh? Like, I mean, it was like painful loud, and we've been to dumb loud shows, and I've never thought that, but that was the one place I was like, that's a little much, bud.
I think, I don't know. I'm no expert when it comes to architecture and sound physics, but I don't know if the layout of the room is great.
Oh, it's a good room.
I don't know. I've never enjoyed the sound there.
They've got point source boxes, and I think they were I don't know where they were mixing from, because there's the front of house position, but nobody was there for any of the bands. And so I don't know where they were mixing from. But yeah, like especially the second band was louder than Emery was, who was the third band.
Did they have live amps on stage?
No,
Weird.
Everybody was digital.
Weird.
I mean, drums were real.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really loud. There were multiple points where like you could even hear the system like really starting to distort. Like, it made for a cool experience, but like it was definitely like you didn't want to be in there very long. Like, people were leaving. Like, which is a shame.
I don't go to a show without ears anymore, and I don't let Kara go to a show without ears either.
Definitely should have taken some.
Yeah. That is the worst, especially with a band that you're really stoked to see, and then you can't focus on it because it hurts.
Well, Emery was good because they're so dynamic anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like even their loudest parts, it's not like the band before them was like one of those like go hard the whole time Midwest emo style stuff, where Emery's kind of like up and down, so it wasn't nearly as bad.
Yeah.
But man, those guys are good.
Did they just played the album top to bottom, right?
Yep, top to bottom, and then they went on. Once I got injured, so once they finished that record and then went on, I was like, I heard what I wanted to hear. Let's get out of here. And we left a little early. So
dang.
Yeah.
That's a good place to probably leave early, though, in terms of like traffic after the show and all that.
And you know, like everybody is so sweet in a pit. Like, I forgot that culture a little bit, and it's so much fun. And at the end of every show, there's like, "Hey, you okay?" Like, everybody's best friends, except for that one guy He was wearing steel-toed boots, and he kicked me right in the back of my calf.
That guy.
Like, he was kicking everybody, and I saw it, and I was trying to get out of the way, and you can't. And if you're just going with the fit,
I bet his name was Jimbo.
he looked like a Jimbo.
Yeah. Jimbos be wearing steel-toed boots, you know?
Wear steel-toed boots in a pit, but
He's got to protect himself, you know?
I was wearing these shorts, so like I had no jean protection.
Nothing.
I was naked calfing it, and it just got me. And I went down like an old man. Then I left the pit.
Well, I'm glad you made it.
That's my fun story.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Entering 39, limping like a 80-year-old. But here we go. What are we talking about?
We haven't really talked about anything yet. What do you want to talk about today? I mean, so for those of you that have been watching for a hot minute, it's been a couple weeks, I think, since the last episode. So we're back. We're happy to be back. Glad to be back. You've been busy.
Yeah.
I've been busy. And we just haven't had a good opportunity to get together and sit down and chat. So I'm sure we have plenty to catch up on, but we also have plenty that we could talk about.
So like I like the hot take thing.
You got some spicy takes. You want to just like trade hot takes back and forth and see how you feel about them?
Your note was fantastic.
Well, the first one in my note for this hot take debate, which probably won't turn into a debate. I have a feeling that we're going to agree 90% of the time. And hopefully you guys agree too. If not, then you can debate us in the comments. That's fine. But
this is a good list though. Like I feel like these are hot takes. So we're doing it. We're doing it. We're going with hot takes.
Hot takes
2025. Not to be confused with hot picks, which you can find on our OnlyFans link down below.
Yep, OnlyFans, Fansly. There's other ones, aren't there?
I don't know. I just learned of one. So Josh has some hobbies.
You can buy my bathwater.
Get out there and support your local freak.
Yeah. So I'll kick it off. I think that we wouldn't like classic bands as much if they were recorded today. And I'm not talking about the songwriting. I'm not talking about the musicality. I'm talking about if you heard a hi-fi modern recording of somebody like Led Zeppelin, I don't think we would appreciate it as much as they were appreciated during their heyday.
I'll agree with that with a caveat. I guess the thing here, the overall idea, 100%, yes. But I think the idea of like a classic band, like I think of Zeppelin, Queen, or like even Michael Jackson, like Stevie Nicks, anything Stevie Nicks did.
Yeah.
And like the list would go on forever. But like the thing that makes those bands cool wouldn't be cool if we recorded them like modern bands, because what they were doing was pushing limits anyway.
Well, especially folks like Jackson and stuff. And this isn't a blanket statement for everyone. I think that a band like Queen recorded modern day with the access to a DAW where you could layer even more. Queen might only get better.
That's a genius at work.
Yeah.
And like those kind of classics would just be real. Like I think most of them that are true classics, like geniuses, would still pop out, even if there were a whole lot of other noise.
Yeah.
They would just have more tools to feed that genius. But then sometimes like having limited tools at your access is what makes you good. So
yeah,
that's an interesting thought exercise there.
There is always the comment or the idea that, well, you could just record them on vintage gear like they would have recorded back then. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you had the really crystal clear hi-fi just chain going on in the studio that you can have now that you couldn't have back then.
Yeah.
I think we would hear a lot of things that would be not awesome if we took the exact same performances that are on these like critically acclaimed albums and we brought them to modern times. But
the other question then would be like, would you switch out the producers too? Because some of those production styles were like trying to be as precise as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, if you have all these other tools and it is like technically perfect,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would make some of those things very boring.
Yeah, that's true too.
Interesting thought.
You got a hot take, a spicy take for us?
I'm just going to pull off your list here.
Yeah, go for it.
Vintage Neve consoles are overrated and most people couldn't tell a Neve clone from the real thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a spicy take for the people that are just real audio nerds.
Yeah.
I think it's a spicy take. I think that's the truth, though. Like,
I agree.
too many people will walk into a room and see vintage gear that they are aware of and then automatically give that space like extra karmic points.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and there's two sides to the coin. Like I have 3 vintage Neve pieces. The accumulation of those costs at this point, the resale is dumb. It's a weird position to take. I love those pieces. They sound great. Do I think my $500 Vintech 573 gets close? Yeah. Dumb close.
And more consistent.
Very, yes. But I mean, some of the quirks with Neve now being vintage is they start to fall out of spec, and it's that kind of quirkiness that makes them cool.
Well, and that goes back to the last hot take that we had. Some of that cool factor, the vibe factor of those classic bands is the unpolished nature of some of the technology that was being used.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like those in the know, you're not going to reach for a Neve if you want something crystal clear.
Yeah.
You're going to do it if you want to kind of like F it up a little bit. Like if you're going in line level, yeah, it cleans up really nice and that EQ is very usable. But if you're using it as like a microphone preamp, there is hair on that thing. And it can get crazy, especially as a DI. Mm-hmm. Like doing like a distorted bass thing. There's very few things that do what that circuit, I say circuit style because it's been cloned and it's been cloned very closely.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and that's the second half of this hot take, right? And so most people couldn't tell a Neve clone from the real thing, I think is extremely true.
Yeah.
I think that there's a handful of people that have enough experience on the real thing that would then work with a clone and be like, this isn't exactly it.
I don't think they would care.
I don't think they would care either.
Like, I have a Newton. It's not even a Neve clone, but it does a couple of the same thing. Like there's no output transformer on that thing. Mm-hmm. But if you know that, you can still kind of get around doing some things like, and I have burls that have transformers on the input, so I can still clip. So it's like, what do you want?
Yeah. Well, I think to put this one in layman's terms or to associate it with like a more common person conundrum is the idea that most people, the general audience, can't tell the difference between listening on Spotify and listening on YouTube.
Yeah.
Until they do a direct A/B comparison. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, it is shocking. Different. Yeah. But nobody really cares, and most people are listening through Bluetooth headphones anyway. And yeah, that's that whole rabbit hole of discussion of why does it even matter then? Why do I need to go spend all this money on the gear? Mm-hmm. But
as far as Bluetooth headphones go, I know you have AirPods now, and you've had them for a while. Mm-hmm. What do you think of those?
I love them. Like AirPod, man, it's going to make me sound so like a sellout or something, but they have genuinely changed my day-to-day life having AirPods.
Yeah.
Like the how good the transparency mode is and how comfortable they are. I can just have them in all day long and get so much stuff done while also listening to a podcast or having music going on in the background or whatever it is. I think it has gotten to a point where it's borderline unhealthy, whether you believe the whole like microwaving your brain thing or not. Like I'll put one in and to fall asleep to something. And now it's like,
oh, that's intense.
Yeah. And I wear them too much now, but, no, I like them. They sound good. They don't sound as good as a really high quality pair of wired buds, but the convenience greatly outweighs that for me.
Great. Like, I mean, I am probably the farthest thing from an audiophile.
Yeah.
I'm finding like, and once I got AirPods, I was like, these sound great.
Yeah.
But I find I'm mostly interested in just listening on like general consumer stuff. I did it again.
And I'm the same way. So AirPods are just way better than the Jabras that I had before them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so much better. And
AirPods were my first Bluetooth anything.
Oh, really?
So that was like all I experienced. So when people complain about Bluetooth, I'm like, what's the problem?
that would be a fun experiment to like just get you like a $30 pair of like Skull Candies or Jabras or something and
Ooh.
have you wear those for like a week and see how you feel about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll think about it.
This is getting off the beaten path a little bit. My one complaint
Beat that path.
about my AirPods is still the same complaint that I've had since like 2 weeks after I got them. And let me know in the comments if you suffer from this as well. My phone constantly, every day, 10 or more notifications of like a unknown device was found with me. Like the Find My thing is messing up. If I use Find My devices on my phone, works perfectly fine. It knows where my case is. It knows where my buds are. But my case will chirp all the time. Like always. I can't turn it off. It's grayed out in the menu. The only way to fix it is to completely reset my buds, unpair them from my computer and my phone, repair them. Then I can turn off the case chirp. And then a day later, it just starts chirping again.
I've never had that problem.
I know. There are some people on Reddit that have. No one has had a solid fix other than like RMAing them. Huh. I don't know what's going on with them. I've updated firmware. I've done all the stuff.
That's weird. Yeah, I've never had that.
I got Kara a pair like a month after I got mine, and hers have never had that problem.
Interesting.
Yeah. So let me know in the comments if you have that problem.
That sucks.
Right in line with the Neve stuff. 99% of people can't tell the difference between a $100 interface and a $3,000 interface.
Yep. I think we demonstrated that.
Yeah, 100%. And that goes to that demonstration was the video on the Recording Studio Loser channel where we had a bottom of the barrel cheapest rig that you could get from Sweetwater.
With a certain amount of I/O.
Yeah. To be fair, the interface was like $1,100, something like that.
$999.
$999.
Yeah.
It was the HD8, the PreSonus HD8,
$999,
which is not as low quality as you could go, but for the channels that we needed for everything, that was kind of what we had to use. However, even that, in comparison to the price of what it was up against, like the difference were
far less than $2,000. Literally 1/100th the cost.
Yeah.
And it's not 1/100th the results.
Not at all. And if you spent time on it, we've beaten this horse so much, so we don't have to a bunch, but
no, I hate that horse.
Oh, he was a good horse.
That horse sucks. Here comes PETA.
If you spent some time, I think you could have gotten extremely comparable mixes if that was the goal. If the goal is to get the mixes to sound the same, could have made it happen easily.
Yes. I wanted to just show the differences.
Yeah.
So anyway, get out of here. I see one.
Hit me.
U47s are outdated. Modern tube mics sound better at 1/10 of the price.
So I don't have insight to this. I've never personally used a U47.
I don't like them.
Right.
So there's U47, there's tubes, there's FETs. The more popular one that you'll see everywhere that most studios have, I mean, unless you're going to like a really big studio, then you might see a U47 tube, like an old one. Most of the time, what you're going to see is the FET. So with that said, I don't like the U47 circuit all that much. It's got its places, but it's not a versatile circuit for me that I find uses for a lot. I know some people like fanboy or fangirl on these hard, for like they're popular for like some vocals. I find if it's right for a vocal, it is very right, but if it is even halfway wrong, it sounds disgusting on a vocal. And as far as a kick out, which is like the other popular place for it, I don't like it. I got rid of I had a U47. I did not care for it.
Do you think that if you had space and budget, do you think you would populate the studio or the mic locker with more one-trick ponies? Because like you said, when it's right, it's really right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to work that way. I think it's a game of like microtransactions, right? So there's like,
it's a gotcha game.
Well, I guess I see the palette as like what is right 80% of the time, and that's what I feel like I collect.
Yeah,
and like the Loudon Eden, fantastic mic. The Soyuz 017, fantastic. Even the SM7B, fantastic. The Mojave, the 301 FET, whichever, the 300 or 301, whichever is the FET one. Even the tube one is incredible. But like those things are right 80% of the time.
Yeah.
And if something's not quite right with the Eden, you switch the circuit. Like, and it has like a U47 circuit in there, so I can go back and forth. Like, and all these things are like it's circuit design. It's not like this is some ghost out there and the U47 sounds great. There are certain cases where certain circuits just don't have those components made anymore, but modern builders are doing crazy stuff for fractions of the price.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what a U47 goes for. Like
let's find
even
out.
The FET one, I feel like it's like 40, 45 maybe.
You want to? I'll look up tube first.
Oof.
If I can even find one for sale.
It's gonna be hard.
Vintage King.
Yeah, gone.
Oh, this is just an article talking about it.
Right.
Telefunken.
There's one. 10,000.
Yeah. 10 grand.
$10,000.
Out of stock.
What's the FET? I want to say it's like 4,000.
Yeah. 3,600 essentially.
Okay. And what is the Loudon Eden?
We looked it up before. I think around that price. The B stock you can get as low as 31. That's a good price.
So for the same price as a U47 FET, you could have a tube condenser that has a very good U47 circuit in it, as well as a very good C800 and a very good like kind of newer U47. Like that is a very versatile microphone, more so than just that FET. I don't know. Yeah, overrated. I will agree with that. Is it a good mic? Yeah, it's a good mic. Great records have been made on it. Overrated? Probably.
So here's one that I'm gonna name two hot takes in one because I think they go hand in hand, and I experienced this on the drive up here today. Again, so compression is abused to the point where 90% of mixes sound like mush. And the loudness wars are making music objectively worse. So, on my drive up here...
What'd you listen to?
What was it? It was Era. Era had a new single come out. I like Era. They're a cool band. It hurt to listen to in my car. Like, it hurt my ears.
Their mixes are typically incredible.
Which is why I was excited. And I don't listen, I would like to listen to it in another environment, on my pods, on my monitors at home, etc., etc. But with my N of one study of listening to one song on my drive up here in my car, it physically hurt my ears. And like, I could hear the crash cymbals, but guitars were just mush. And it was incredibly loud. And it bummed me out.
Yeah. I experienced this. I have a playlist on YouTube Music called Pump City. There was I love old Underoath stuff, so when I saw Aaron Gillespie come up, I was like, yes. But this band, I don't know anything about Sphinx and Left to Suffer, and never. But I saw Aaron Gillespie and Taylor Barber.
You see Aaron Gillespie, you click on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is so compressed. I don't know if it was like, it had to be intentional. Like it, I don't know if you can, if it's going to translate here, but on headphones, it was so noticeable. It was kind of nauseating. Like the air is just getting sucked away from your head. Yeah,
it sounds
laptop
fine there,
speakers
but
can't reproduce the low end. But like the low end pumps the whole mix so much that it was like pulling away from your head.
Weird.
And I was like, it is so distracting and so hard to listen to. And it was so freaking loud. Yeah, that to that extent, there's a line, I think.
Yeah.
Because loudness is emotional, and I love loud mixes.
I do too. Like, we talked about this months ago when Ronald came out, the Falling in Reverse song, and it is like pushed to the limits in terms of loudness and stuff. But I like that song because it hits so hard. It feels good. So I don't know, but the loudness wars thing eludes me. I understand the thought behind it and the different perspectives for wanting to kind of keep pushing the envelope and getting louder and louder. And maybe I'm just an old man now, but I miss dynamics so much.
I think you can still have like a dynamic, like, I mean, if something is loud, you could have it loud at loud portions and still have a dynamic mix.
Yeah.
It's all about control. It's not easy to achieve, but it's possible. I think the real issue with the loudness wars is like when you have a label exec or like a manager who really doesn't know much, but they're like, well, this Dropbox link that you're sending me is quieter than what I'm listening to on YouTube Music, so I need it louder. Like,
right.
So you run into stuff like that, and it's like, or you get these arbitrary targets. Like I've literally gotten like -4, -3 targets from doing a mix for somebody. I'm like, wow, that is a master. Sorry, and that's cooking.
Yeah, and we looked at stuff together a few weeks ago in your room, and they were hitting around that area too, and it was unfinished, but it was still like, this is up there.
Yeah. And there's ways you can make loud sound great, but it's like, it has to be a part of the emotional connection to the music, because loudness reads as aggression. And if you've got an acoustic trio, there's no reason it needs to be -4. I'm sorry. Like,
I mean, that's what you say, but maybe I wanted a really aggressive acoustic trio.
Don't we all?
What's your next hot take?
Tape machines are only popular because of nostalgia. They actually make things worse.
This is an interesting one to me. I think that in the same vein as the Neve conversation, if it fits the workflow and it adds to the vibe, then it's the right call.
Yeah.
I just did a 3-day session at a studio in Indy where that's their whole, I don't want to say shtick, because
Okay.
It's not really a shtick because they have a lot of really good equipment and they have a lot of really cool things at the studio. So it's not the only reason people go, but it is a main pulling factor for people that everything is recorded to tape and then digitized to Pro Tools.
Okay.
And it's cool. It's cool to do that. It adds a certain vibe. The sessions that I've done there, it has benefited, I think. But the necessity to me is like, I personally don't feel like there's any necessity for it.
No.
Like you can, if you're going for the vibe and that kind of sound, you can manipulate something digital to sound that way.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But again, if it adds to the vibe and it's part of the workflow and it makes the clients feel a certain type of way and have more emotional value into what they're recording, then it's the right call.
yeah.
But
I think tape is a mindset. Period. And I kind of, if you're doing something on tape, I think it should stay on tape. Just like if you're doing something for vinyl. It's kind of silly if, I mean, I don't want to, I've personally bought records that were started digitally, but I do kind of think it's silly that we're like, vinyl sounds better, so let's take this all digital project and put it on vinyl. It's so weird, bass backwards. Like, which the same thing with tape. Like, I know the whole relay system exists for a reason. That people like tape machines and they needed to get it into Pro Tools. Well, now people think, oh, we're going to record the tape and then put it into Pro Tools. Well, everything you just liked about tape is basically gone at that point. You're just adding extra cost because all it is then is a processing unit.
and tape is not cheap.
No, it's a processing saturation unit with a consumable at that point. And then, like, if you are digitizing it and getting it back into this hi-fi world, well, I sure hope you're using virgin tape, which is very expensive.
Yeah.
And like, because those artifacts are going to be there, and maybe you like those artifacts, but you pay a whole lot for those.
Yeah. And I think some would argue that they do it for the artifacts. That's what they want. That's what the vibe is calling for. I don't know.
It's a weird tape is interesting to me. I love tape. Like, but
Scotch.
dude, Scotch, Gaff, you name it.
Gorilla?
I love it. Oh yeah, give me Gorilla. But I think the thing we like from tape are the performances that come out of it because it's a fleeting form.
Yeah.
Like, you only get one shot at tape. You get a couple, but like, really, it's expensive. So you have to make sure you're prepared and your performance is incredible when you're going to tape. And I think that's what most people reach for, the nostalgia of tape. But like, doing this like digitizing thing, I'm like,
That is one of the cool things from the studio, that you could enforce in a non-tape studio, but it's more of an understood that because we're using tape, everybody, let's just, if the take is screwed up by one person, we're all just going to do it again.
yep.
And there is a certain feeling that can come out of the entire group recording as a unit. And then if you really, really need to punch something or overdub something else, then we can do that after the fact. But the 90% or more of the song is recorded at once as a unit in a room. That's a cool vibe.
Yeah.
But
And there are certain non-linearities that come from tape, but it's like, again, it has to be a really good tape machine in very good repair, virgin tape. Like, it's hard to get all those pieces lined up, and with a band that has the mindset to do it. I thought it would be interesting even if I could buy like a broken tape machine, just have it set up, tell people we're recording to tape.
just lie to
Yeah,
clients.
just lie. I mean, that's most relay systems are just, they're coming off the record head or the play head, like whichever one, and then who's to say?
Now I want you to do it.
Like, if all you are is monitoring Pro Tools,
Yeah.
how would you know?
Yeah. Let's go
I'm
with
not going to say I worked in a studio that did that.
Oh no.
say it.
Say less.
I won't say it.
I'm going to go with one that I don't think I agree with, actually.
Okay.
Ribbon mics are overrated and mostly just hipster gear.
Oh,
So that one, I I have heard different ribbon mics used in different contexts. We did a session where we use only ribbon mics. We did all AEA stuff.
Yeah, get out of here with that one.
Yeah, I think there's a certain feeling that comes from ribbon mics as both the player and on the mixing side that it is a tool for a reason. That would be like saying you don't need a Phillips head screwdriver because a flat head can still fit inside of that screw.
I mean, you're not wrong. No, I remember comments like that from that video. People said, why even mess with this? They're so fragile. They're so expensive. They used to be, not anymore. Like, I tried to break one. I have a whole video right at that. Like, and they sound great. Mm-hmm. It's a totally different experience if you're used to like high fidelity condenser microphones. A ribbon has certain properties like side rejection. Like there's like this perceivable speed to it that you just don't get from other microphones. And that like, I don't know, intimacy, like it translates as intimacy. They're so cool. I love them.
Yeah.
I wish everything was a ribbon mic, personally.
Well, I don't know if you really believe that.
Nah, probably not.
I wish this vehicle was a ribbon mic. I wish this table was a ribbon mic.
Ooh.
Hit me. Oh, yeah.
I saw that anyone who says they can hear the difference between an MP3 and a wave is lying. That is interesting. If you're listening to the two together, you can tell. But I have done like blind tests on myself, trying to figure, and it's really hard. Like you can't just listen to a track and know what it is. If you're listening to both of them together, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so I'm not going to go with that one. I don't think that's as hot a take. Although that probably will piss off the audio files a little bit.
That's okay. I mean, they can be pissed off. That's fine.
Most engineers can't hear the difference between 44.1 and 96. Interesting topic here. I will agree.
Do you run at 48?
48.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I run at.
I've had a surprising amount of comments on videos. Anytime I talk about that, people saying like, you're not a professional studio unless you're running 192. And I'm like, that isn't excessive.
Isn't even like cinema 96? Isn't that standard for?
Well, I mean, most standard for playback up until not too long ago was 44.1. So even doing 48 could have been overkill, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like Dan Warhol has talked about this in more detail than anyone would ever need to learn. But like, I don't see the necessity. I've never missed having anything. I have recorded in those super high sample rates before, and it's just bigger files.
Yeah.
A lot bigger files.
I was going to say drastically bigger files.
Yeah. I think the having 32-bit is way more important than anything else. Mm-hmm. Like 44.1, you can even get by doing 44.1 because it's all about like where Nyquist is and your aliasing coming back down. But you can negate that with filters. And even most interfaces now, if you're going in and out, like they have anti-aliasing filters. So I feel like this discussion is going to go away. Like even in the next few years, like it's just not going to be a thing.
I'm curious about that. I think part of me feels that way, and then part of me wonders if it's going to become more of a big deal as we rely heavier and heavier in the box on plugins, and as we see plugins evolve, because that's another with the small amount that I have delved into the creation of plugins and understanding how getting like the software working for delays, for example, it's using that sample rate to calculate some of these effects. So theoretically, the higher you're running, the like more accurate depiction you can get of some of these effects and plugins and stuff. So when it comes to really, really high-end intense reverbs or something like that, or even modeling, like amp models and stuff, I wonder if there is going to be a push for making 192 a new norm in order to get higher fidelity from not the sound itself, but from the plugins that are being ran.
But that has to do with like the bandwidth. I'm gonna say this incorrectly, but if like 48 kilohertz, that's the top of where you're recording, and that's where it sets Nyquist. So in a digital world, like you have that'll reflect back down, and that's what's called aliasing. So it'll kind of come back into everything below unless you have a low pass filter. So if you're capturing all of this sound above where humans can hear, I kind of feel like that's useless. If you're talking about like how accurately can we model a curve of a waveform, even that like can start to get hairy, because as you go from D to A to D back and forth, like there's approximations all over the place. But
Yeah.
I feel like bit depth is way more important on as far as that discussion. Like how many samples are we taking per however many cycles we're recording, and I don't know. That's one man's opinion, but
I'm not smart enough to know, and I'm not smart enough to guess what'll happen, but maybe you guys are.
well, here's the thing: I'm not a fancy physicist, so
This is news to me.
I only understand this as far as I think I understand it. So all of that could have been completely wrong. Please let me know. I know you will.
All I know is a roll of duct tape will fix it. Do you ever watch Red Green?
No.
You've never seen Red Green?
No.
It's a Canadian show from back in the day where the whole premise was these two guys that would fix stuff, but with duct tape. And I think it was like half dramatized, half like...
Somebody made a show about my life.
Yeah, right. It talking about duct tape made me think about it. Makes me want to go back in time and watch it.
Ooh. Mastering engineers are mostly glorified EQ and limiter operators.
Is that a hot take?
No. Nope.
I mean, I think just about anybody can tell the difference between a good mastering job and a bad one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what they're doing.
It's simplified.
Yeah.
And I say this as like half of my work, air quality advisory.
Did you get a new smartwatch?
Well, this is an old one, man. My Apple Watch hasn't been staying, so I went back to my Garmin.
Okay.
Because I started running, and then I tore my Achilles.
Well,
I can't run.
Recognize it wasn't the Apple Watch, so I didn't know if you pivoted from that.
Where's all my Garmin people at? I'm on the Phoenix 5. Should I go to the Phoenix, whatever we're on now? Let me know. Mastering. So I've been doing way more mastering in the last couple years than I ever had done. I think mastering is overall I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's simple. Like the moves you make, like you don't want anybody to know you're there doing anything. You're not trying to change the overall product. You're just trying to get it to the best form it could be.
Yeah, you're polishing everything up, right?
But a lot of mastering is mostly, at least how I do it, is mostly consulting, mixed consulting. Like I'll get it in to like a session, start moving stuff around, and I'm not going to try to bend it and shape it into what I think. But if there's a problem, then I go back to the mixer and talk. We're like, well, I can't really get to where you want to get to it because this.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because they don't have a great listening environment or limitations to the recording process, or
their ears are broken.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the thing. Like they're so into it.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to work on your own stuff.
That is the truth.
Most of the time, a mastering engineer is basically just a non-involved third party who can help you consult, and it's the last step in quality control. But ultimately, we are just EQing. I don't use limiters, but I think most guys do. Yeah, I clip a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I say a lot, not like bad clipping, outboard clipping. It's good.
Desired clipping.
Desired. Ooh. Auto-tune isn't just a tool, it's become a crutch for bad songwriting.
I think that is yes and no. I mean, there are more people that use it as the tool that it's meant to be than there are people that use it as a crutch, I think.
Bro, I've had people comment on videos where I've used auto-tune and say that it's not fair or that I'm doing a disservice to the artist.
I think that those comments largely come from people that don't understand the industry.
You don't have any idea what you're talking about. I mean, that sounds harsh, and I kind of mean it to be harsh. Auto-tune will never fix a bad performance.
Not until we get fancier AI auto-tuning.
Auto-tune on a bad voice still sounds horrible.
And so that's the second half of what I was saying. Like the people that are using it as crutch are like you hear it in like mumble rap and other contexts like that, where it is like
it's like an effect.
Yeah, it's like an effect,
Yeah.
but now it's being taken to like an extreme. I stumbled across this subreddit that's just r/bad music. And it's been a guilty pleasure of mine, but there are some cats on there, man, that like it is rough. They got a hard beat, like the beat is fire, and then they just turn every knob on an auto-tune all the way up, keep it on chromatic, and turn humanize off. And it's just like, no, it sounds so bad. But then you have people like I'm going to give credit to Post Malone. Maybe it was done before him, but I think the way that he has utilized auto-tune, specifically the vibrato automation, I think he kind of popularized it, if not started that whole wave. But that's where I see it as like you're melding this tool into an effect, and it's being like best of both worlds in that kind of context. Whether you like Post Malone or not, that's up to you. But I think the way he is kind of
Posty.
Yeah, I like Posty a lot, but the way he has used it in that manner, I think has been really cool. I don't see how it affects the songwriting process though. Like,
Ooh, I like this one. Pay to play playlist placement. That's some alliteration right there.
pay to play playlist placement. I like
Pay to
it.
play playlist placement are just modern day payola. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
There's another one on this list that goes hand in hand with that. That says, I'm not going to remember it verbatim, but it's something like Spotify playlists have more pull than labels. Like they have more effect than labels.
Yeah, and I think that like Spotify is kind of like the modern day music cartel.
Oh, 100%.
In a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean, we already know like they're taking advantage of like AI created material, pushing on their own playlist to then collect royalties on their own behalf. Like, if there ever was a company that is not supportive of artists, this is one of them. And yeah, very much payola. Now, are you okay with that? Like, 'cause some people are and some people aren't. I've literally been in rooms where we're making records and the discussion is like from top down that, well, hey, with this budget, we can go gold. And like those discussions are had.
Yeah.
They're real. That doesn't mean every record's fake, but it happens. And it is out there, and it's very much.
It's for sure a big part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people will like there are certain genres, like Southern gospel is one. Like having worked in that world, that is understood that you will pay for placement.
I don't think it's really that new, though. I feel like we've been doing this for a long time. Once the radio came out, or before then, like, I don't know the actual ins and outs of the business practices, but from my understanding, there were certain monetary agreements for certain stores having supply of different albums and CDs and tapes and stuff. So you could kind of consider that a very similar thing, because we don't go out and buy music anymore in a physical form often, right? But when that was the only option, from my understanding, places like Walmart and Target would have these different monetary agreements on either like revenue splitting or an initial investment to have stock of a certain album or put on that front shelf. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So to me, those are kind of the same thing. That doesn't make it cool. That doesn't make it all right. But like you were saying, I know a lot of people, both for playlists, and that still happens for live shows. That's been going on forever. Big act comes through town. If you're a local act, well, give us $300 and you can open. And that happens all the time still. And I know plenty of people who just view that as, this is what we do. This is how we're going to get our name out. And it works for some people. And from my opinion, of the majority of the people, it is not the move. Because I'll just stop there. It's just not the move.
Yeah.
But
I think any kind of pay to play, I feel like it is a distortion of the market. And I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
I understand it's going to be a part of the industry, and it is what it is, but I don't know. In my euphoric, idealistic interpretation of the world, it shouldn't exist.
Drummers are becoming obsolete. Programming is cheaper and sounds cleaner. I don't. Okay. I agree with the idea of this take. I personally don't think drummers are going to be obsolete and don't want them to be. I think that the biggest part of magic that happens with song creation is that interplay of humans bouncing these ideas off of each other. But this idea, if you don't have to pay a player to come in and record something, if you don't have to maintain a drum kit, if you don't have to mess with mic placement and getting the right tones and sounds over and over again, and you can just program a simple boom bap into the computer and then play around with different shell sounds and get what you need. Yeah, that world is getting better and better and better. And I don't see, other than the part that I said, where I prefer having a human, outside of that, I don't see why most pop music would require a drummer. Why even why does CCM music need a drummer? Really, I see you're going to have jam bands. You kind of have to have a drummer for that. But then if you have like metalcore, there's a lot of bands that only have a drummer for touring and don't use it in the studio.
Yeah.
And I think that, I don't remember if it was you and I talking about this, but I think that's kind of waning off now, and that we're getting more real players back in the game with the heavy hitter bands and stuff. Mm-hmm. But
it seems to be a push, even from people on the independent side, because I feel like anytime something makes its way into mainstream label stuff, mm-hmm. where you have really big bands using Superior Drummer or GGD Modern or Massive, mm-hmm. on releases, and they're great, and I love those tools. I have both of them. Mm-hmm. They're great, but people are gonna want something different because they don't want to sound like everybody else. So then you get people at the bottom now wanting to be well, no, I want to track real drums. I want to go against the grain. And it's just going to wave back and forth.
Yeah. Going to oscillate.
Whatever technology we have available, people are going to go back and forth. Right now, people are using AI like crazy
Mhm.
as tools, and like some legitimate, some not. And then you're gonna have people be like, no, I'm gonna go fully back, and hey, maybe we'll start recording on tape again. You know,
We might.
like just tape to vinyl. Like, let's go hardcore.
Hit me with that 8-track.
Yeah, straight to MP3.
Straight to it. We're gonna be just selling Zunes.
That would kind of be cool.
Yeah. That was the golden era, man.
I honestly miss having just like my old MP3 player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was pretty cool. Like, actually having your music.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We live in a cool time, but
It is.
There was something special about your front right pocket was meant for your iPod or Zune, or in my case, just no-name generic MP3 player that didn't cost hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, mine was like a little blue piece of crap. I
Yep.
don't remember what it was.
And then the only other thing that belonged in that pocket was a wadded up, tangled mess of earbuds that would break in 2 weeks or so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh. One I agree with and don't really want to.
Uh-oh.
How long have we been going here? An hour. This be the last one?
Sure.
Okay. Nirvana wouldn't have blown up if Nevermind was released today. Streaming would have buried them.
I think that's true for a lot of bands.
I think that is true, except for like right now. Because I feel like grunge is coming back.
Grunge is coming back, but I think that
2 years ago, 3 years ago, nobody would have paid attention.
no, but I think that there's so many of those bands, they were huge because of what they were doing at the time they were doing it.
Yes.
So
Like, what
if
would
if they
Nirvana-
hadn't, if Nirvana hadn't come out, would there have been a grunge movement? Like, I know that there was all of that, like at that era, you had the kind of grunge stuff happening out of Seattle, and there were a lot of bands doing it. Not a lot of bands made it above the surface doing it. Then you have Nirvana that just like skyrockets and explodes.
Yeah.
And then you have these other bands that kind of huddle around that and take the torch and keep running with it, right?
Was Pearl Jam around before?
That's a good question.
Because I'm curious, because that kind of
Pearl Jam's first album was 91.
Nirvana 87? That doesn't sound right.
Either 87 or 89. So, yeah, Nirvana was before them.
I mean, there's more stuff there, but I wonder. That was a good. I never would have considered, like, would grunge have really taken off without Nirvana?
Right.
So, like, ultimately, it's a weird thought experiment anyway. But
Or would somebody have just taken their place?
right,
You know, which is also a possibility. I think.
I guess if grunge had never existed and Nirvana came out today, yeah, they'd blow up. Because it would be an answer to a question that never got answered.
Yeah. I think that it would be more likely, though, that there would have been a vacuum there. Somebody would have taken the place of Nirvana, and we would have a different household name than Nirvana these days. But the general premise of that hot take, I agree with for a lot of bands. Yeah. You could say, going back to the Led Zeppelin example that we started with, if Led Zeppelin came out today, they would get buried. Like we had Greta Van Fleet, but they had, I think, a culmination of right place at the right time that gave them an initial lift and boost. But even them, they're not as huge as Led Zeppelin was in their heyday.
Would they exist without Led Zeppelin?
I personally don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think that they would have created that sound on their own without Led Zeppelin being the initial seed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of bands, man. And I think part of it,
Like, without Doth, would we have progressive metal as we know it now?
I don't know. I mean, where would we be if we didn't have Sabbath? You know, where would we be if we didn't have, I don't know, insert monumental artist here? If we didn't have Hendrix, where would the land of guitar be? So I think that you can keep going down and down that rabbit hole. and asking those questions. But the problem today, there's just so much music that gets buried that is really good, which is why you and I have been asking over and over and over for all of you out there listening to give us recommendations of stuff to listen to, specifically things that aren't widely known, that aren't getting hundreds of thousands of plays and streams and stuff, because we want to hear this music that gets buried every day.
Do we have any?
I'll log in and look.
I'll tell you what.
Tell me
if you
what.
I want to tell them.
Oh.
If you put down a band, go down there and write something, and in return, we will put up an adorable picture of a turtle. Do it. You have to do it first. You're so close. Type. Hit enter. Here's your turtle. I hope he puts up a turtle.
A very adorable one.
Are there non-adorable turtles? Here's a non-adorable turtle.
If you didn't see an image just now, it's because I couldn't find one.
Do they exist? We'll find out.
We did get a recommendation for something. So let's hop over to Record Recs. That's enough hot takes for one day.
Now it's time for Record Recs.
Satch72. I think he's been a long time watcher on your channel.
Let me see the thumb. Yep.
Yeah, Satch72. I'm pretty sure you've been hopping around on the podcast since day one as well, so thank you for that. You said you got no affiliation, but to check out Fairfield AD, 11 subscribers. That's the kind of count we're talking about.
65 plays.
Mm-hmm. Here is Someday. I already like the vibe. I like this vocal, like late 90s, early 2000s kind of stuff.
Oh.
Almost like Oasis vibes. Ooh, I dig this. I'm going to hop around. Okay. Okay.
I really like his voice.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to mix too.
Cool songwriting ideas too.
Songs like
crunchy chord. I love it. Nice.
songs like that are so fun to mix.
I want to spin one more. This one has the most plays at 539.
I want to mix that. All right.
This does kind of sound like something that would come out of here with our group of players, you know? This makes me want to pull up the grill. Makes me want to pull up the grill outside of an open garage, have a cold beer, and just make some steaks.
So this seems like should drive into a sunset with your sunglasses and the windows down kind of thing.
While grilling a steak and drinking a beer.
That's a vibe.
It is a vibe. I like this group.
Big
Fairfield
fan.
AD. Thanks for that rec, Satch. 72. Scroll through here, see if there's any other recommendations. We got one other one from Bobby Bolin. Yeah, Bobby Bolin recommends William Beckman, Lonely Over You.
Oh, come on. 30,000 subs?
It's a lot of subs.
That's a lot
of plays. But you said it. I haven't heard of this guy, so let's listen anyway. Texas singer-songwriter.
It's like the spaghetti western thing. It's like it's built for sync.
Mm-hmm.
I could see this on like some cop show.
Okay. I definitely had like some kind of Netflix like dramatic romance show or something, you know. This is a vibe.
I dig.
Well, thank you all for dropping some suggestions. We will take all of the suggestions that you
Go
have.
follow Fairfield.
Fairfield AD, that was cool. Get those numbers up.
Yeah.
If you're in the know, let's up those numbers.
Huh?
Let's up those numbers!
It's a bunch of streamer drama going on right now.
Ow.
I feel like that is very far from the demographic of anybody that watches the podcast. But if you're out there, our souls are intertwined, you and I. Jeremy, what have you been listening to? What is your record recommendation?
It's not in my playlist, but I have been absolutely binge listening to Bill Murray's new song.
Bill Murray's dope.
More Than Hate. Have you seen, if you're going to play it, you may as well play the music video.
I have not watched the music video. I don't think I've listened to... Oh, I was trying to talk and type, so I put actual Bill Murray. And I was like, why did the podcast pop up? Duh. Okay.
So there's a whole documentary that goes along with this.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing's like found footage, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
They're searching for the Hogman.
Official Hogman footage captured in 4K.
Just
You like clean, you're redeeming underneath all your sweetness. It is a fake.
this is the whole thing.
I love it.
I'm not saying that I'm perfect, so I am
What a good idea for a music video.
That's the whole thing.
I bet he's real fun to hang out with.
You know, this doesn't have to make it into the thing. Johnny Frank. I didn't even realize that was Johnny Frank
Oh,
from Attack Attack.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and it's like I worked on a band with him,
That's crazy.
like way back. This is over 10 years ago, but like, yeah, we have some.
There's that
weird
like 1 degree
connection
of
to Bill Murray.
separation
I
or
was
whatever.
like, wow, that's kind of weird. Those records are like, I freaking love that sound. The country metal. It's like you could tell when somebody does the metal thing, like if they know.
Mm-hmm.
And like he knows.
Yeah, he's in the know. I don't have any super duper underground rec for this week.
Did we both put Fit for a King on our playlist?
Oh yeah, that's when Lonely God came out. Nice. You mentioned Attack Attack though, and they had a new drop come out.
What?
Yeah, and what drew me to it not only is the fact that I saw Attack Attack had a new release, and I was like, well, I gotta listen to that. But also, it's called "I Complain" on r/metalcore. I was like, I need to hear this, dude. This song is so cool. It's like an ADHD's like heaven. The way like things change.
All right,
but a lot of the production choices are so cool to me. I'll probably chop this up, but just so you can hear a bunch of it. The whole song feels like a meme.
What the fuck am I even saying in this dumbass?
see you want to pinch my butt.
Whatever I want.
Woo!
Anything I
That is so cool. But that's a new Attack Attack song. I can play it on r/metalcore. I feel like most people know Attack Attack, so it's not underground.
Around for a minute.
Yeah. But the song is cool. Like I was saying, it feels like a big meme. I wanted to read through the lyrics, but they don't have them uploaded here yet.
But they're on r/metalcore.
Dude, I hope so.
Well, you guys should r/subscribe
There you go.
and r/like because we r/need your support.
This is true. As always, if you need to cop anything from Sweetwater, any type of music gear, and you also would like to help out the podcast in any way, shape, or form, you can hit the affiliate link. We get a little bit of a kickback through any of your purchases there, no matter what it is, no matter how big or small the purchase, it helps us out. If you don't want to, that's cool too. But at the very least, subscribe. If you made it this far, hit like. Why not? You listen for over an hour
You know you want to.
and you didn't leave. Maybe you fell asleep. I get that. We have soothing, seductive voices to fall asleep to. But butts.
Soothing butts.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Sleepyhead. Go to sleep.
One sheep.
I don't care if it's 2 p.m. You need to get some sleep.
2 sheep. 3 sheep.
Who cares if you're at work? 4 o'clock. Get some sleep.
6 sheep.
You're going to put me to sleep.
7 sheep.
I hope this whole thing is just a slow fade.